This is the video you've all been waiting for. If you've seen a comet crashing down through the sky the other night, it wasn't a comet, it was actually Kris Boyd coming back down to earth. He was hiding. He's been hiding ever since, but he has came out of his hiding, and he's probably suffering from Colombian flu, but he's managed to clear his sinuses and say there was absolutely nothing between the teams last weekend. Kris Boyd says there was nothing, absolutely nothing between the teams last weekend. He says that Sevco aren't that far off from Celtic. But that goes against what everyone else was saying on the planet. And he also gives praise. Yeah, that's it. He actually gives praise to one Celtic player. That Celtic player was Kyogo Furiashi, the man that is in fantastic form with 24 goals this season. He does give praise to him. Also in this video we'll talk about Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton's been talking about Michael Beale, probably trying to wind him up again just to get that little war of words on the go. He says that Michael Beale copying the Celtic huddle after the game last weekend was quite funny, and he should learn some other things from the Celtic manager. And then it's been a while, we'll jump into the comment section. We'll see what we've been saying in the comment section, and we'll get the comments up on the video again. It's always good to share your thoughts with the channel, and we'll get your comments up. It's been a while since we've done a comments video. So let's jump back to Mad Kris Boyd, the so-called Sky Sports expert, if you can call himself. He says it was a difficult game, and for many Ibrox stars, even with James Tavernier, penalty Rangers, Mr. Penalty Rangers, who never got his penalty, he was devastated at that, and admitted that their teammates failed to turn up. So they're all admitting that they never turned up, but Kris Boyd said there's absolutely nothing between the sides for spells of the game. For me, there's a difference between two men up front, Fat Boy and Kyogo Furiashi. He says Kyogo Furiashi, Celtic have a selfless team player who runs himself into the ground for the greater good. He's never seen that before, basically because no one at Sevco has ever done that before. Fat Boy can't get himself physically fit or put in the shift that his team require, or he doesn't want to. He says on that note, Kyogo Furiashi on the other hand runs himself into the ground. He says he's a fantastic player, and he basically wishes that Sevco had someone like him. It's going to be a bittersweet experience for him, because I'm sure he takes over the coverage at St Mirren again. He'll be a pundit this weekend again, so make sure when he's at the game you let him know all about what you think of him, Celtic fans. And the fact that he was praising Kyogo's been a fantastic buy for us. 4.5 million, I think that was money well spent. We spent in 2021. He's only had 16 caps for Japan. I think he should really be on a bit more than that now. But, you know, he's offered so many goals, and he's fantastic. We all love little Kyogo, and I think he's going to be at Celtic for a while. He's struck home 19 times in 24 appearances this season. And talking about this season and huddles and things like that, Kris Sutton has said that the Rangers manager hasn't been shy to talk about Ange Postecoglou or try and copy Ange Postecoglou, and he said copying the Celtic huddle at the final, after the final of the game at the weekend, where he basically said, you know what lads, it's okay, we're going to walk up, we're going to get our medals, and then we're going to blank that other team. We're just going to go straight up the tunnel and hide, rather than applauding the champions like any decent manager would and decent club would. There's a huge fallout obviously after last weekend for the Sevconians, with them basically saying that he's no longer the saviour. But Beale has spoken about standards, and Kris Sutton went on about it. He says there's only one standard, and that's the standard of winners. He says you go up there and you win medals. That's the only standard that you need in football, and Beale is way behind. He talks a bit about how Martin O'Neill handled stepping into the Glasgow Goldfish Bowl, and he says that Beale is basically not just doing it, he's miles behind Celtic as a manager, he's miles behind Celtic in class of anything, but Beale still talks about Celtic every single week. It's actually getting quite embarrassing now, but anyway, that's enough of them. Let's jump over to the comment section of yesterday's video, where Postecoglou was left with giggles, talking about everything from transfers to the game to, just everything. Postecoglou knows how to play the press, and it gets rather embarrassing, some of the questions. I watched the interview, obviously the interview had went out just as I had published my video yesterday, so I hadn't seen it until I actually published the video, and then when it came out I watched it, and it was quite funny because you could actually feel the hurt in the first commentator that was asking Ange questions. But anyway, first one is Lee Morrison says, thanks, rather listen to my fellow Celtic brothers talk than those dafties in the press, hail. Plus Beale's trying to take the pressure off himself because he failed again to stop Celtic. That's very true, Lee, thanks for the comment. Take says, remember, Aidan is one of my old man's favourites. That was talking about Aidan McGeady yesterday and the fact that he's out injured. He was a great Celtic servant years and years ago. Take says, I remember Aidan is one of my old man's fave before he passed. I hope you've got great memories about your father then, mate. He says, just looking at Hun fan sites, it's hilarious. They are in total meltdown, as you can see from them snooping on here, and they're all getting destroyed. Yep, it's fantastic they watched over. Hi, Sefconians. Christopher Doherty says, sounds like he wants to be part of the mighty Celtic team. Lol. Hun Crusher says, all they talk about is us. 3-4 massive signings in the summer. And talking about even fatter Alfie. I'm not even going to go there. Donny Boy says, Man United been spending the most in the EPL, and they've been nowhere near for yonks now. And of course, Chelsea, that was Beale talking about the team that spends the most money in any league in the world wins the championship, which has been proved to be completely wrong. And you could probably go to Italy to find that out as well, probably one of the most corrupt football countries in the world. But Tully went on to say, is Beale green with envy or just green? I think he's just green inside. I think he could be the next agent that comes out of Sefconian land. They have to start taking bets on when he leaves. Surely, I mean, if he gets hammered between now and the end of the season, surely he has to walk. But they'll give him till next season, of course. They do not put him on a big contract. Anyway, Gara says Beale talks more about Celtic than Rangers. That is very true, and it's quite disconcerting. So if we've got anybody, if we know anybody that's in the psychiatric side of things, they should maybe look into Beale and see if he's okay. And I'm being serious about that. I think there's something really wrong with him. Donny Boy says, I think Beale and the Huns job, it was audition for the Celtic once Ange moves upstairs. Talking about Celtic continuously makes me think he wants a chance, no chance, Mr. Mole. Cheers, Donny Boy, you're a madman. And Armstrong says, Beale just opens his mouth and lets his belly rumble. He does. I think he's not had any media training at all. And Paul McDuff says, Beale talking pish as usual, even has nightmares about Big Ange. I think it's probably more wet dreams. Weirdly enough, I think it could be more wet dreams than nightmares about Big Ange. What happened to every fiver that Celtic spends? The Sevco would spend a tenner. Oh, aye, 2012, that's what happened. We would never sell our club. Beale was blabbering on about Celtic, even bigger transfer budget, yet Sevco's annual wage bill is actually higher than Celtic's, around about 3.5 million. More deludable for Beale and etc. The Huns were very good with the figures. Yeah, they've always been very good with their figures, says Donegal. Kevin Carrick says, Hatate has improved tenfold. The best is yet to come. Beale is only digging a hole for himself and can't help it. And then we'll give the last comment to Tom4115. He says, so Beale is conceding defeat already. Never in the land of Sefconian or the old Rangers, with still so much football to play, has a Rangers manager basically laid down and conceded the title this early on, even though it's still mathematically impossible as it stands just now for Celtic to win the league. But we play our games, we win the matches, and we do our things. We play St Mirren tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll do a video tomorrow morning before the game, and then I'm not sure what pub I'll be live from after the game. It might be Paddy's Point, or I might take a trip up to Alicante to see the Alicante Celtic Supporters Club up there. Could be worthwhile going up there just for a little change and seeing another CSC here in Spain, just to show that there's lots of us all around the world. So on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to